Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has challenged Russian President Vladimir Putin to sit down for talks. Key points: Mr. Zelensky's remarks follow a second round of peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators. Mr. Zelensky's remarks follow a second round of peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators. The Ukrainian president said, "I don't bite," in reference to Vladimir Putin's long table discussions. The Ukrainian president said, "I don't bite," in reference to Vladimir Putin's long table discussions. The French president has again spoken with Mr. Putin, saying the war would cost Russia dearly. Mr. Zelensky's remarks follow a second round of discussions between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators in Belarus overnight. The peace talks have not yielded a result, but the two sides have discussed humanitarian corridors and agreed to speak again. While referring to the long table used by Mr. Putin during a meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron, the Ukrainian leader emphasized the need for the two leaders to talk. "What do you want from us? Go away from our land. You don't want to leave now. Sit down with me at the negotiation table. I'm available," Mr. Zelensky said in a televised interview. "Sit with me, but not at 30 meters like you welcomed Macron and Scholz and others. I'm your neighbor. You don't need to keep me at 30-meter distance. I don't bite. I'm a normal man. Sit down with me. Let's talk. What are you afraid of?" Mr. Macron and Mr. Putin previously sat at opposite ends of a 4-meter-long table to discuss the Ukraine crisis last month. Reuters, Sputnik, Kremlin. Mr. Zelensky said Ukraine and Russia could find a way out of the war if the Kremlin treated Ukraine on an equal footing and came to talks with a will to negotiate in good faith. "There are things in which some compromises must be found so that people do not die, but there are things in which there are no compromises," Mr. Zelensky said. Mr. Putin spoke by telephone to Mr. Macron on Thursday, local time, telling him Russia would achieve its goals, including the demilitarization and neutrality of Ukraine, the Kremlin said. Mr. Macron told Mr. Putin, "You are lying to yourself about the government in Kiev, which Moscow said is a threat to its security, and the war would cost Russia dearly," a French official said. ABC Wires.